This exercise is a staggered stance, dumbbell RDL with rotation. So you're going to have a kettlebell or dumbbell in one hand. You're going to be in a staggered stance position like so, with most of your weight on that front leg. So you're working that front leg. The back leg is just there for support balance-wise. So you're going to have the kettlebell or dumbbell on the opposite side of the leg that's in the front, maintaining good posture, so don't let yourself cave in. So chest up, back is straight. All right, you're going to push your hip back and go into that RDL with a soft bend in the knee as you rotate that kettlebell towards the opposite side, right back to that starting point. So almost kind of aiming that kettlebell for the foot, all right? So you're starting on the one side, hinging with that rotation at the hip, going towards that foot, or maybe a little past the foot, right back to that starting point. So what's happening now from the hips, you're starting in a neutral position right here. As you go into that rotation, you're closing off that hip that you're working and going into internal rotation, and then coming right back to a neutral position at the very top of that movement. You're still going to feel a good pull in the hamstring area as you go into that hinge. And you'll feel that outer glute working as well as you go into that rotation, since it is kind of more of a single leg exercise with most of that weight on that front leg. So now just to see that from a front standpoint here, again, most of that weight on the midfoot of that front leg, rotating towards the end of that hip hinge, rotating back to neutral at the very top. Obviously doing that on both sides. And that's a staggered stance, dumbbell RDL with rotation.